Rafael Morillo is on a Rafael Morillo roll to start the season here in 2029. He hit 3 home runs in the last episode, and that is how many home runs he leads the NL by over everyone else. He has 16 homers at this point in the season, while the next highest is 13. And so we watch him and the rest of the squad today against the Oakland Athletics, a team that I used last year in franchise mode, and also the only other team in this franchise that has been able to have drafted a generational talent. And so I wanted to check up on him and see how the team can do. Speaking of the generational talent, that's the third base Richie Covey there, one of the 2 guys unable to handle the ground ball there from Kyle Brown to start. Not a great start for that generational talent in Richie Covey. But here he is, Rafael Morillo, off to a spectacular start to the season here, and he continues it with the 2-run blast here in the first inning. Home run 17 already for Morillo, 466 feet. Crushed this Gavin Stone pitch. And Morillo was paying attention to some of the rumors that he might be a party animal. He might be on a slight regression path after not getting 30 home runs last season. And, well, seems to have taken that personally. Neil Dorsey is actually tied for second in the NL with 13 home runs currently as it sits, but he starts his game with a short fly out there. And Zach Veen, not off to as good of a start to his season as we saw him have last year, but he does get on base there. Sterling Thompson comes after him, and this hit will go back up against the wall. This could score Zach Veen. Rounding third, and he gets in easily. A couple of day one prospects hitting at right after each other here in the lineup, and they both work together to score the 3rd run here in the opening inning for the Rockies. Salas hitting at that Mendoza line, not at all where we need him to be, and he grounds out there to end the inning. We'll be watching Jose Barreto pitch today. I know we've watched a lot of him. I think this will be the 3rd straight episode we've watched Barreto pitch, but I like watching him pitch. He's my favorite pitcher to watch here in the series, and I feel like he pitches better when we watch him compared to simulation, and I'm trying to boost them stats up. So here we see him pitch against the Athletics, and there we see his first strikeout going against Jacob Wilson, a player just recently drafted by the Athletics in the first round of the most recent real-life draft. Andrew Vaughn, a big-time acquisition by the Athletics here in the series, goes down. So, a clean inning for Barreto. Figueroa will pop fly out to begin the 2nd. Logan Cerny in the 9 spots. Gets that through left infield gap for a 1-out single. Kyle Brown looking at a changeup that was way too good of a pitch to look at there with 2 strikes. Shea Langoliers will get Logan Cerny on the tag. If there's anything I remember from Shea Langoliers from the Athletics franchise, is he has a really good arm from behind the plate. Richie Covey seeing his first at-bat of the game, and it's a fly out there. More of a line out, really. It was hit pretty well, but couldn't quite get the hit. Brian Cruz goes down right after him. That'll bring up Langoliers, actually hitting really well for Oakland this year. 292, also has a lot of power here in this series, and he keeps the inning alive for the A's. Full count here for Stone Garrett, and he gets a free base. 2 men on for the Athletics. Zach Geloff up to the plate, and it's to Morillo. Strong throw, and he is out. No runs for the Athletics there as we enter the third. Clemente Herrera also having himself a really solid start to the year. Is on base for Morillo now, and he is down looking. A beautiful pitch by Gavin Stone. Understandable why he'd think that could maybe be a ball, but you'd like a little bit better protection there. Neil Dorsey almost gets home run number 14 here, but it's caught on the warning track. That'll be Veen up next. Zach Veen, opposite field. It's down for a hit. Brian De La Cruz doing a bit of a flip there, and then he throws Zach Veen out at second base. I thought for sure Zach Veen was going to be able to get 2 there, but what a play by Brian De La Cruz to end the inning and keep the Rockies off the scoreboard there. Light tapper to Morillo, and the throw is accurate. Retiring Tyler O'Neill, hitting in the 9 spot here for these Athletics. Asterio Ruiz, we know he's got a ton of speed and stealing ability, but he can't use it if he can't get on base as he flies out there. Wilson, a diving play made by Omar Figueroa, gets back up and makes the out all by himself. Wilson probably thought he had himself a base knock there, but an excellent effort play by Omar Figueroa. Thompson drove in a run his last time up, and he's back on base here. Squeaking that one through the infield right past Richie Covey. Salas 3-0 pitch and draws the 4-pitch walk. Getting on base for the second straight time here in the 4th. Omar Figueroa pops it up right to Shea Langeliers. It'll be an infield fly rule for the first out. Cerny. This one's down for a hit. De La Cruz with it again. Threw out a runner the last time he had an opportunity, but can't do it here. So Cerny picks up an RBI and make it 4-0 Rockies. Kyle Brown, we know he's got the best clutch on the team, trying to bring home a 5th Rocky run, and that's exactly what he does as Salas crosses home plate. And that'll end the day here for this Athletics starter, Gavin Stone. So Joey Estes having a little bit better of a year than Stone is. He comes in to relieve him. Full count for Clemente Herrera, and he is down swinging. Morillo up next. Has himself a home run in this game, and now looking to pick up another RBI. Throw to home is not fast enough, so Cerny with the speed, able to score run number 6 and the 3rd RBI of the game for Morillo. A special player having his best start to a season yet, and it's propelling the Rockies to number 1 place in the NL West. Now Neil Dorsey deciding to get in on the action here. That'll pick up 2 Rockies runs as Morillo's across home plates. A 2-run double makes it 8-0 Rockies. We have certainly come to play in this game. Zach Veen almost made it double digits there, but De La Cruz tracks it down on the warning track. A couple of wild pitches there in a 4-pitch walk from Jose Barreto, not really getting close to the zone. I will say in this game his control was a little bit erratic here, but here he gets a very nice strikeout on the top of the zone against Richie Covey. Brian De La Cruz will sneak this past the glove of Sterling Thompson. And the throw looked like it was on time, but barely safe. Is Andrew Vaughn at third base? Thought for sure we were going to get the out there. Langoliers, though, will ground into the 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. Still a scoreless Athletics performance here. Barreto pitching a shutout through 4. Thompson will go down swinging for the second strikeout for Estes in this game. Ethan Salas looking for his first hit. Has also drawn a walk in this game. Figueroa, another guy who hasn't quite had the season that we've been hoping for. He was hitting in the 2 spot to start the season, all the way down to 8. Just performance based. Now Logan Cerny hits it right at Jacob Wilson, and it's no runs for the Rockies. Enter bottom of the 5th. Another out here for Barreto. Zach Geloff up to the plate now. 2-2 pitch. That's going to get down for a hit right in that center field. Logan Cerny with the throw. And can't quite get it there in time. Geloff sliding in for the double. Tyler O'Neill hits this one deep to left field. Zach Veen giving chase, but it's not going to matter. It's over the wall for a 2-run blast, and the Athletics are on the board here in the 5th. It's been a really good start for Barreto. He has had himself a pretty good game, keeping the pitch count low, and of course until this point the Athletics off the board. But the shutout is no longer. Ruiz follows that up with a base hit. 1 out, 1 on for Jacob Wilson. 0 for 2 today. But this one's going to drop right in front of Zach Veen. Runner will hold at second as that one deflected off the glove of Morillo. 0-0 pitch for Andrew Vaughn. Is floating out into foul territory for Clemente Herrera. Throws to third, but the runner stays home. I'll bring up Richie Cobb. He has not made an imprint on this game yet. And he decides to do so right now. All of a sudden, it's a 5-run Oakland inning here in the 5th. Richie Covey's 9th home run on the season. He picked up 6 RBIs in the first game of this series. Here we are in the second game, and he picks up 3 more. And now it goes from looking like a great Barreto start to looking like a bad one. All it takes is 1 inning. And the thing I love about Barreto is the way his ratings are. He really, for the most part, does a good job of avoiding these nightmare innings, but a bad one there. Now it's just a 3-run Rocky lead. Kyle Brown goes down with a ground out here to start off the 6th. Herrera hits it pretty much to the exact same spot following him up. 2 quick outs will bring up Morillo. This one was a hanging curve. He hit it well, but right at the outfielder there. Not the inning you want to follow up a very exciting Athletics 5-run inning. 3rd strikeout for Barreto. The other thing about this start that's unusual is usually when we watch him, he's racking up the strikeouts, but this is more of what you'd expect a Barreto start to be, strikeout-wise at least. He would be relieved for Yohan Blanco after allowing that hit here in the 6th, and Blanco comes in and not gonna do much better here as he instantly allows the 6th Athletic run to Tyler O'Neill. Back top of the order, back up for the Athletics, and Ruiz is down looking. Jacob Wilson swings at the slider, and the Athletics are done here in the 6th. Just 1 run this time around. Neil Dorsey will lead off the 7th for us. Now looking for some more insurance runs at this point with just a 2-run lead. Zach Veen, not having the best season, but he's having himself a good game here today. Neil Dorsey, though, doesn't really have the speed to score on that hit. But men on 2nd and 3rd, no outs. Rockies need to score here in this inning. Sterling Thompson looking to help with that. And he's got a home run. Sterling Thompson, a 3-run blast, his 7th of the season. And he's actually 3rd on the Rockies in home runs early on in this year. Bit of a surprise there. Not known much for his power. And also, I should say 7 home runs isn't excellent by any means. There's just clearly our top 2 power hitters and then a bit of a drop off after that. So Sterling Thompson makes it 11-6 here. Doesn't have a lot of moments here in the series, but a really big moment there to help secure a larger lead as we head into the final part of this ball game. Omar Figueroa down there for the 2nd outs. Cerny 2 hits today, but not gonna make it 3. 11-6 as we head into the bottom of the 7th. Blanco in the game still for Colorado. Andrew Vaughn struck it well to left field, but Zach being able to haul it in. Richie Covey really let the Athletics back in this game his last time up to the plate and picks himself up another hit here. He hasn't quite lived up to that generational tag yet in his career, but he's having a really good series against the Rockies right now. De La Cruz swinging a bit of an ugly swing there at the slider well outside the zone. 2 gone here as Langoliers will draw a walk. Stone Garrett's no hits in this game, and that's going to remain the case as he's looking at the changeup there for strike 3. Kyle Brown rounds it over to Richie Covey. The throw beats the runner for out number 1. Herrera, no hits. He has drawn himself a walk, but will remain hitless here in this game. Hitting well, but just hasn't hit super well when we've watched him this year. Morillo, that'll be his 3rd hit of the ball game. With 2 outs, bringing up Dorsey. Can he extend the inning? Not going to look like it here. 14 speed, definitely not going to beat that throw. So a scoreless Rockies inning. And now we see Phil Gorzelski for the first time here in this series. He's pitched before. This is certainly not his first outing. The first time we get to watch him pitch, and he starts it off with an infield fly. Picked him up as an 80 overall closer. We changed him to a reliever, changed his ratings into the 70s, but still an awesome pick from this most recent draft class. Helping make our bullpen actually one of the strengths of the team if you look at our team rankings. And he has a good 8th inning there. Rockies will take a 5-run lead into the 9th. Zach Veen down for a hit. That's his 3rd hit of the day. Having himself quite a game. Maybe this one could get him back rolling. Sterling Thompson. This one's going to be for a double play. 3-6-3. And just like that, no one on and 2 outs here in the 9th. Not looking good for any insurance runs. Unless Ethan Salas can get something going. He does get a base knock. Multi-hit game for Ethan. Would love if this game could build up some confidence for him. Omar Figueroa, though, gonna end the inning. Not a good game from Omar. So now all we need to do is close out a 5-run lead here, bottom of the 9th, and the Rockies can come away victorious. Morillo with a nice throw. on the full count pitch gets out number 1. Andrew Vaughn after him will draw a walk. Richie Covey 2 for 4 today, and he's on base for the 3rd time. Got a few different players with a 3-hit day in this game. And the Athletics will score there. Was decently close, but RBI double for Richie Covey. 4 RBIs in this one. Infield fly with a broken bat makes it 2 gone. Langoliers up to the plates. He hits this one deep to center field. Logan Cerny at the wall, and the leaping attempt is not good enough. It is a 2-run homer for Shohei Langoliers. And now it feels like the Athletics have themselves a shot to win this game. We just need 1 more out. Already given up 3 runs here in the bottom of the 9th. That'll bring in our closer, Tony Santillan. Was excellent last year. Hasn't been as good this year, though. But still only needs the 1 out. Full count pitch to Zach Geloff. This one's deep to left field. And again, it's over the wall. This game's tied. For the 2nd time in this game, the Athletics have scored 5 runs in an inning. What is going on? First Skorzelski and now Tony Santillan, and our bullpen has blown what should have been an easy victory. Santillan remains in the game, and it's a walk-off victory for Oakland. Tyler O'Neill ends it with the 3rd home run of the inning. 11-6 going into the bottom of the 9th, and the Athletics walk it off. All we needed was 2 outs for like 4 of those runs, man. All we needed was 1 out. We had 2 outs is what I meant to say. What a choke job by the Rockies here. They fall to 0-2 in the 3-game series against the Athletics on the road. Should have easily had the game today, but we blew it. And the Athletics come away with an awesome 9th inning comeback. Good to see the MLB The Show 23 franchise again, but not a great outcome for the Rockies. We have now reached the month of June here in the franchise, and the Rockies are 34-23 atop the NL West, and the Dodgers in 2nd place at just 500. So things are looking good here for the first 1/3 of the season. Thereabouts is what we're getting close to here. And I wanted to just take a look at where we are at with some team stats, where we rank in certain categories. We are the 2nd highest batting average team in baseball, with Clemente Herrera still hitting near 350, Rafael Morillo hitting 344, and then Kyle Brown hitting just below 300 are our big 3 players there. In terms of scoring runs, we are 7th in the league. The Dodgers are ahead of us here in the division, but Clemente Herrera leads us there in runs. In terms of hits, we are 8th. Getting doubles, we are tied for 6th. Triples, I don't imagine, will be very good. We're just outside the top 10. Home runs here, we are at just below that average mark, and it's really because we're getting carried by 2 players. Rafael Morillo, despite not hitting a home run since that game that we watched against the Athletics, still leads the NL. And there are a couple of players in the AL that have 17 home runs as well, but he does lead all of baseball, tied for 1st. And Neil Dorsey is tied for 3rd place in the NL with 15, but then of course we have the big drop off after that. And stolen bases, I don't think that's really going to be a strength of ours. We're actually not terrible. We're about midway in the league in terms of drawing walks. We are 6th there. Kyle Brown leads us in that category. We are 8th best at avoiding striking out, 5th best slugging percentage. So the offense has been absolutely killing it. 3rd best on base percentage this year. Now for some pitching stats, just a quick peek here. I want to see where we're at fielding percentage wise defensively. We're in the top half. That's really where you want to be. I don't need to be, a top 5 fielding team, but I just don't want to be towards the end of the league. So 11th, I'm fine with that. Now let's talk about the pitching. We are in 8th place with the pitching. Devin Smeltzer has been awesome. Neil Dorsey being our 2nd best pitcher is surprising. And then Chase Dollander, really similar season to what he had last year. In terms of shutouts, we've had 6. Neil Dorsey, the only one with a complete game shutout on our team. Saves, we've had about middle of the pack there. Blown saves, not the best year. Santillan was excellent for us last year, but we've had 10 blown saves. Santillan has already blown 5 this year, which I believe is what he blew all of last season. 6th in hits allowed here for us. 5th in runs allowed. Home runs allowed, we are also tied for 5th. So kind of for the 2nd straight year, our pitching is doing much better than I would have guessed at allowing home runs. In terms of allowing walks, top 10 there. Strikeouts is not this team's strength. We are dead last in the league at striking people out. So there you have the team stats. Just going through Rafael Morillo's season. Is losing a little bit of power versus left-hand vision, but that hitting versus riding is going up. He is absolutely bouncing back from last year, over 1100 OPS. You got to imagine he's an easy selection for his first All-Star game this year, and might even be in the running for MVP. And want to take a quick look at what some of our minor league players are doing. 261 with 6 home runs for Rico Salazar. Pretty good. Developing pretty low additions across the board, but I think that's fine. Jimmy Blanco here. 14 saves, just 1 blown save despite the high whip, which I think is contributing to that -4 hits per 9 from him. Chip Howe, pitching pretty well. I think +1 across most of his stats. Benji Avalos not doing very well, unfortunately, for the 2nd straight year. Just not hitting as well as you would like for him to increase very quickly. Ralph Gilmore pitching very well, up to a 70 overall. He might be ready for AAA sometime soon. Gregorio Dominguez, 287. He's getting some steady upgrades across the board. Chris is pitching excellently, +4 hits per 9, +2 pitcher clutch there. Raymond Park, oh my goodness, he has been absolutely terrible. Eric Suzuki pitching well, so AA pitchers doing quite well. Brian Doe, maybe not exactly where you'd want him. +3 power versus righties is nice though, for sure. Got James Ungerer, not doing as well as I would hope for him to be somebody that you're excited about maybe calling up in September. Neither of these guys. I was hoping honestly to see a better update for both of them. Herb Reyes though, he was pretty rough last year after being really good in simulation through the first several years of his minor league career, and now he's looking ready to maybe get called up and finally add a lefty to our major league rotation. Rich Walsh here, more strikeouts than innings, you gotta love to see it. 11 saves to no blown saves. He's looking ready for the call up for sure, and with Santillan struggling, I think Walsh could definitely be in play for a call up at some point this year. Johnny Brennan doing well, maybe a good replacement for Yohan Blanco in that long relief role here in the near future. Antonio Hernandez doing a good job as well. He is apparently allowing a lot of walks with that -1 walk per 9. Juan Rocha was hoping for a little bit better here as well. A lot of the hitters just not quite having the seasons that I would hope, not quite getting the development that I would hope, especially with Omar Figueroa struggling this year. I'm really looking forward to Juan Rocha and seeing if he can make a jump here soon, but probably needs a little bit better numbers there. So that will pretty much wrap up this episode. I'm getting a better idea of kind of what's going to be available in this class. Don't want to spoil too much, but I think we might get to the draft next episode with our final draft preview. We might split it up in 2. I'll have to take a kind of a look at what's going on with these teams, figure out who we want to play, and I'll decide once I do that. But regardless, you'll see what's going on with this class sooner rather than later. And that's all I've got for the episode. We'll be back soon with more Rockies franchise soon, and I will see you then. Go Rockies.